Adventure Time. Yay. So, okay, we've got lots of yays here. What makes Adventure Time great, guys?
Oh, it's just so splendid and happy.
Yeah.
And it's weird because it's obviously a kids show and it's very much aimed at kids, but it's one of the few shows like we've seen on Cartoon Network lately that are welcoming to adults too. Because there's so much hidden humor, like a lot of early SpongeBob too.
It's like Flapjack and all this other like cartoon stuff. Like you definitely can appreciate it as a little kid, and once you get older, like that happened with me with the Powerpuff Girls. I loved it when I was a kid. I got older and I rewatched it and I'm like, whoa, there's a whole level of other humor to it that I didn't realize.
Well,
and
you're
you
like,
get that in Adventure Time.
There's a pain to these villains. Like, what's going on with this? You know, I think the Lego movie is one of the most recent examples of something that's that successful, where you would see it in theaters and you would hear laughter coming from the children, and then a second later the laughter coming from the adults.
And it's not the same thing.
Never at the same time. Just completely different jokes, you know?
I love how it can switch from ludicrous to sweet and back again in about 60
like,
seconds.
It makes, like you said, it makes you just feel happy. Like even if something bad is happening, like, you know, maybe there's just an adventure they went on that didn't go right, you learn like silly lessons. Like I remember Jake the dog at one point was just like, sometimes you fail because that's the only way you get better. I don't really know. Maybe you will, but you know.
It teaches such great lessons, and it's really intelligent, which is something you wouldn't expect from this style of storytelling. It's just like funny and goofy and, you know, aimed at kids, but that has like all these underlying themes and these stories that it consistently tells, and it takes you a few episodes and you don't have to necessarily watch them in order.
Yeah, because they're 11 minutes too. Like they're just real quick.
And there's these like sometimes these really standout episodes that have like such heart and meaning to them.
Yeah,
I think you totally nailed it. Like for the longest time, or at least I would say predominantly, Nickelodeon cartoons or Adult Swim cartoons or Cartoon Network cartoons were sort of like they leaned more into slapstick and sort of goofiness, like even like Ren and Stimpy and stuff like that. When it got dark, it was still pretty much like goofy slapstick.
It was just an iteration on Tom and Jerry, a very smart iteration. But
Adventure Time has heart, you know, like that's what really separates it from everything else.
Yeah, it explores like what it means to be alone and in love and having crushes
and friendship.
Yeah, and friendship, but in a different kind of serious way. But
and especially strange this is happening in a post-apocalyptic world where magic has come back. That, you know, it's like this children's show set in this like post-nuclear war future.
Dark. Yeah, because Finn's the only human left. Everyone else is like these magical creatures and stuff. It's funny that you mentioned Nickelodeon. The creator of this actually did like you mentioned before we recorded, like a 7-minute short that's really weird, and he showed it to like how do I remember that studio?
Frederator?
Yeah, Frederator.
Yeah.
And they pitched it to Nickelodeon twice, and they rejected it twice. And so when they took it to Cartoon Network, they're like, this looks like something. And so I'm pretty sure Nickelodeon's now like, what did we do?
Because it became a franchise. You pointed out to me, Brian, before that. I mean, the video games that have come into this, its roots are in D&D, and you can tell, and it makes for great video games.
Tons of dungeons.
Yep.
In these shows.
Yeah, we've gotten like top-down Zelda games. I think there's been like Endless Runners and stuff like that. I mean, there's a Game Boy in the show.
Yeah, it's made with that culture in mind.
Yeah, BMO, so cute.